Hello Thailand and hello world. This is Voice of the Nation. Join us every Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Good morning, I'm Ping Thitapha, and together with me, my co-host, คุณนีน่านิรชา and คุณยอดวิทยา สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับคุณปิง
สวัสดีค่ะ
Hi everyone, how are you feeling?
Cannot tell.
I totally understand. So, Voice of the Nation brings you updates and what's going on in Thailand. I hope you enjoy our program because we wake up early every single day for you.
So feedback and comments are all welcome.
If you'd like to watch our previous episodes, please visit our YouTube channel, The Nation Chat Thailand, and also on our Facebook page. Just search The Nation Thailand. Kun Ping and Kun Nina, the politics getting heated up in Thailand with the big news last night, somebody losing sleep following up the news. Executive members of Palang Pracharat Party made a clear decision to remove Kun Thamanat from the party. And we're going to have a big discussion on this. Right, Kun Ping? Right, Kun Ping?
Yeah, and also yesterday Thailand got a political party and I got a report and insights for you.
That's so fantastic.
Yeah, today in our interview section, we have Dr. Varin Khera, a cybersecurity expert with us.
So let's start out today with Kunyot and the chaos at the Palang Pracharat party.
The chaos. Kun Thamanat and 21 MPs expelled from the Palang Pracharat party amid political chaos is a big news last night. On Wednesday, in an urgent call for a meeting by Palang Pracharat Party Secretary General of the party, Kun Thamanat Prompao and his faction of 21 MPs were expelled from the ruling party. In the meeting of executive members of the Palang Pracharat Party last night, and they consider that Kun Thamanat and his group of MPs were creating rifts that could harm the party. Earlier, there was a leak of live chat with messages discussing Thamanat presence in the party, and seemed like they want to check the popularity by doing some poll, things like that. And what the party should do to bring back itself from the failure of the Palang Pracharat Party in the recent by-elections on January 16 in the south. Thamanat campaign in Hat Yai district of Songkhla appeared to anger several members of Palang Pracharat. In the campaign, Kun Thamanat went on the stage encouraging the voters to send a rich person to parliament. Thamanat's speech in the campaign sent negative consequences to the party and was used as a major reason that led the party to fail in the by-elections. It was reported that Palang Pracharat will hold a press conference today. It's Thursday, gonna be a big event too. On Wednesday night, Thamanat said on his Facebook that he thanked all the support and concern from people all over the country, as well as from members of Palang Pracharat Party. And all along this time at the party, and he ended his statement with the hashtag ไปอยู่พรรคไหนดีครับ or which party should I go to? Together with us today we have Dr. Charupol Ruangsuwan from the Faculty of Political Science, Thamanat University, to discuss what's going on now and its implications.
Welcome back to Voice of the Nations. Now, Dr. Charupol Ruangsuwan from the Faculty of Political Science, Thamanat University, he is here with us. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning, Ka. So first of all, I would like to thank you for joining our program, knowing that you will have your busy schedule today. So let's go quickly about, we know that, the political situation in Thailand becomes such a hot issue right now, especially last night. What's happening? So after the
Okay.
news, yes.
Yeah.
So after the news
Go
broke
ahead,
out
sorry.
last night about the Secretary General Thamanat from POW is being kicked off from the party, then rumors spread that very fast that he may go to the new Sethikit Thai party with the 21 MPs from Palang Pracharat with him. Could you please share your view about this?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me again this morning. I do have to apologize for that I have only 15 minutes today. I got a important meeting this morning, so I have to,
Run.
better
Yes,
run soon.
we understand.
Yes. Okay. First of all, I have to say that it's too soon to judge or to conclude at the moment. As I said before on Monday, that politics is very dynamic. What happened yesterday might be a significant move in Thai politics, or might be just a speck of something bigger in the future. I believe that we've heard the rumors that there might be some conflicts within the Palang Pracharat party for a while, especially between Captain Thamanat and the Prime Minister, and even also between General Prayut and General Pravit themselves. No one knows precisely what happened except themselves, right? However, what happened yesterday might tell us something, especially the plausibility of the rumors, or we might say the theory, right? So it might be the point that the magma of conflict that has been underground for a while erupted onto the surface. Another theory that many people talk about is that this is just a political game, or even it is an approach toward General Prayut's smooth landing in the future. We never really know. So what we can do now is to analyze based on the theories that we have. If there is really a crack in Palang Pracharat party, what would happen in the future?
Yes.
If that is the case, then it is likely that the new party that Thamanat would go will not support General Prayut Chan-o-cha. Of course, the government will do their best to prolong their time as long as possible, and I believe that their best choice is to stay until the end of the term. But this political move might be a crucial factor for the government to plan their game accordingly. If the government can prolong until the next central motion, which might be around the middle of the year, then it might be very risky for them, because now the votes in the parliament would be really close and competitive. And as I said before, anything can happen in politics. And I believe they know it by heart. So by that time, the Prime Minister might have to think about whether dissolve the parliament before the central motion, or go on with the central motion and take the risk of losing the vote. Of course, the latter wasn't something they really wanted. If they see that they could lose, then dissolve the parliament is the way better option for them, right? So if that become real, then there might be the dissolve of parliament around the middle of the year, and we might have the general election within this year, 2020. But if this is just a political game, then I believe the government will stay until the end of the term, or whenever they see ready to step in the next election. The more interesting thing from the news last night is the name of General Pravit's brother, that according to the news would become the advisor for the new party. So if that really happened, then we might really witnessing the conflict between the two generals. However, anything can happen, right? I said it repeatedly, because this is the fact in politics. What is the truth today can be untruth tomorrow in politics. So at the end, the new party might continue supporting General Prayut. Who knows? It all depends on how they find the equilibrium. However, this is not surprise at all that this happened, right? Because we all know that the Palang Pracharat party, they're more like a task force gathering political groups around the country. So the crack of the party is likely to happen, soon or later, as many people have predicted.
But Kun Thamanat actually say that whatever happens, he will still continue to support the Palang Pracharat. What is your view on this?
Political game has covert and overt operations. So on the surface, of course, he would have to say that. But whatever happened underground, we never knew. But according to what happened yesterday, as I said, if our theory is correct, then we might have seen the crack within the party already. Yes. Now nobody gonna say and nobody gonna tell you on the press that okay, we have problems right now. So what happened always be underground.
Okay ค่ะ คุณยอด
Right. So you think the government will drag on for the budget meeting, or you think it maybe just be abrupted and just gone before then?
I think that's the best option for them if they can drag until then, because it would be very advantageous for them in the next election. The question is, can they? That's the real question. I believe that they want to drag until then, or even until the end of the term. But we have to look at the political circumstances at the moment and in the future. The censure motion that might happening in the middle of the year, and also the votes that seems to be diverse at the moment. So the big question is, can they?
Do you think about the new party, Sethakit Thai, would they be any to become like a big force, or maybe they gather more MPs after this? Because it seems that the Palang Pracharat losing its strength and is showing a lot of problems inside. So you think Sethakit Thai party will emerge as a strong party in the future?
I believe so. Do not underestimate Mr. Thamanat. So many people underestimate him, saying that he's a rookie in politics. But actually, he's been in politics for a very long time, and he has much capabilities to do that. So I believe it might be getting bigger in the future, this party. And if it's getting bigger, and based on our theory, if they really have conflict, then this party might be something that the government have to be worried in the future.
Dr. Chaka, so I'm looking at on the parliament seat right now. So it shows that Palang Pracharat has just only 98 left. So the question is like, what the next move for Palang Pracharat? And for look at the seat right now. So how is possible that about no more Palang Pracharat government will coming very soon? With this law of parliament?
As I say, it is possible. Anything is possible at the moment. If you look at the number, as I said, if they go on until the censure motion, then as we see the number, right, it's pretty risky for them to get on into the censure motion. So the next move, I think, that they have to play safe and they have to try to, please their coalitions as much as possible. But of course, the Palang Pracharat Party would. I don't want to say that they could go to an end, but I would say it is possible that the groups inside the Palang Pracharat Party might, if they cannot find the equilibrium between themselves, so then they might be able to, founding another parties and so on. It's possible. Yeah, we just have to wait and see at the moment. As I say, it is too soon to judge and to conclude.
But it's an exciting moment now.
Yes.
Well, a lot of people see this. A lot of people see this as the แผนล้มกระดาน or the checkmate plan strategy. as expected and is led by the Secretary General Thamanat, do you think that this is a way to pave him to maybe go to become a prime minister, the next prime minister?
I don't think so at the moment, but in the future, it is possible because I don't think he can be the prime minister according to this game. Okay, but this game might lead to a dissolve of parliament and the next general election. If he could do very well in the elections, then it's possible.
So anything is very possible right now because we still have to wait and see what is the game they're going to play. They're going to have the press conference today at the parliament, right?
Yes, I heard so.
Okay,ค่ะ. Thank you very much, Dr. Charupol, for sharing your view on this topic. And
thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. สวัสดีค่ะ
ขอบคุณครับขอบคุณครับ ว้าว
Talking about Thamanat, we should talk about the newest political party that was launched yesterday. So the newest political party, สร้างอนาคตไทย, we mentioned in the day earlier. So they have the very big event, big scene yesterday at its opening ceremony yesterday. Two founders of the party, former finance minister Uttama Sawanayon and former energy minister Sontijirawong made some statement very clear about the party's stand and direction, that they will not be too far left or too far right, and they will not hurt the country by the corruption, and they will not propose General Prayut Chan-o-cha as the party's candidate for prime minister. So they made quite very clear statement, not far left, not far right, maybe in the middle, Kun Vithaya. And yes, the statement about General Prayut Chan-o-cha is very quite strong also. It's kind of like they have no more relationship with General Prayut anymore. Even they used to be the backup for General Prayut Chan-o-cha. So this is a quite big event. Look at the stage and the members and the people over there, around like 100 journalists, including reporters and cameramen, joined the event yesterday because a lot of people have been curious about who will join the party as a member and what the founders will talk about Palang Pracharat and what's about Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. Among limited chance to field question on the stage, I was one who got a chance to pitch some question yesterday also. So quite exciting.
Right. What did you ask, Kun Ping?
So I asked them very directly, like, what they learned from joining Palang Pracharat party. So because they have a very like dramatic issue during the member over there.
Okay,
so let's hear the answer together.
Okay.
Over here, this is the question from The Nation, Thailand. My name is Tita Pasiri, reporter from The Nation. So the question is, what is the lesson and conclusion that you learned from Palang Pracharat Party? And another question is, it's like, what is the name in English and why you use the left hand? Thank you.
Well, to your first question, I think we have learned a number of things. Okay, Kun Sontirat and myself and others that volunteered to work for the country at that time. Frankly speaking, we weren't from a political background, but yes, we did walk into politics to serve the country. We have learned about politics, about how Thai politics works, that's for sure. We weren't starting from ground zero either, but we have, experienced Thai politics firsthand. So those are some of the things that we have learned. And we also learned that Thailand has a long way to go. If we want to keep up with the world, if we want to make sure that Thai people have a good future, we have done some work, I would say, relatively sizable amount of work at that time. They're not finished. They're not finished. That is what we realize. And today, what we are doing is that we would like to continue the unfinished business and build on that. In addition to introducing new policies, new measures that are necessary, in my view, in our view, given the situation of Thailand today that we have discussed earlier. To your second question, I'm sorry, I didn't get. Oh, English name. Right now we're using the Thai, name, and for English it's just that. สร้างอนาคตไทย but one day we may have the English name for you. You'll be among the first to know. Oh, why left? Why left? Oh, this? Oh, solidarity and conviction in what we are doing. Aside from it's on the same size as this.
Why left? But
Yeah.
he says not too far left, too far right. Why left? Right? You try to add something.
What do you think about the answer, คุณวิทยา?
I think the answer wasn't clear. That I thought he would say something more direct about the drama, the things that was going on at the Palang Pracharat party. They did not depart Palang Pracharat like kissing goodbye, we farewell with good thing, it's something, something going on there. So I'm not sure that, but this is on the stage, and maybe it's too early for him to tell something. So what do you think about that, Kun Ping? Kun Ping, yourself. Hello.
Everyone everyone think like you, คุณวิทยา. So maybe this is the way of professional politicians do in Thailand.
Professional, right?
Yeah, no internal allies and no permanent enemy also. So anything could happen in any way. Who knows? Don't trust politician. That's what I think, my personal. So yeah.
So Kun Ping, who came yesterday? I've heard there's a lot of big names.
To be honest, not much very big name for me. I thought there would be more formal ministers who showing up on the stage yesterday, but unfortunately there were just only 2 of them. But let's take a look at the other member who showed up yesterday. So a lot of people talking about Democrat Party MP Kunipit Intarasombat, who's a very professional politician in Thailand, and he worked for political for very, very long time. But under Democrat Party, now he quit, he resigned Democrat Party and joined this new party. And another one that people are talking a lot is former World Bank Environment Specialist Kun Virat Vitun-Tien. So he from World Bank, and he's a specialist about environment. So another one that people are talking a lot is Academy Fantasy, a reality show commentator, Moncheep Siwasinangkun. He is the famous songwriter in Thailand also, and some other well-known folk wisdom figures of Thailand. But I did not see former Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Somkit Jatusipitat at the event today. Here's the thing, everyone knows that Dr. Somkit Jatusipitat is a key person in the same group of these two of Thailand's former minister who backed leader June Premier Prayut Chan-o-cha. And a lot of journalists expected to see him on the stage yesterday too, because the founder of Sang Anakot Thai did mention about him that he has never abandoned us. Yeah. So a lot of journalists asking pitch the question like, where is Dr. Somkit? And they said like, yeah,
He's somewhere in this space, but he's
yeah,
hiding.
but
He's
he
hiding
has
somewhere.
never abandoned us. And on top of that, they mentioned a little bit about Dr. Somkit also, that yeah, he quite like a perfect candidate to be the leader of party. So who knows? Maybe like Dr. Somkit will join the team later. So let's talk about their policy. The party has a very strong aim to resolve pending issues to pave the future for the country, especially the economic and citizen quality of life, tackle inequality, and unsustainable society. But they did not detail what economic plan were in store. But one thing that I really want you guys keep an eye on, this is the sign of tsunami of political in Thailand. A lot of things going to happen very soon in Thailand this year.
I see, Kun Ping. From your experience joining the opening yesterday, so you think this from your experience in the news, this is a starting up when they do the grand opening. It's just launch, just like test the water, and just test it. What's going on? The feedback. And maybe they have the big name hiding, are recruiting. So I think this is just the first step to check out what the public gonna respond. You think about that, Kunina? So that they have just this amount of time. Big grand. You look at the stage, really long, stand it up, have the big pictures over there. Kunina, what do you think about this?
Exactly ค่ะคุณยอด
Right. So Kun Ping, yesterday for any other questions that you found interesting to tell us from other news outlet?
So people keep like curious, like what different between this party and the previous party, because like the previous party, they have the kind of same position and same core, and it's about the same of this party. But the founder of the party said like, yes, then there will be a different one, and the different thing about them is like they're gonna focus more about economy, and they're gonna focus more about quality of citizen living. So this is pretty much is that they try to tell. So another thing that people talking about a lot about the political side, when you launch the new party, you're supposed to have the very strong stand which way you will go, like support government or not support government. But yesterday they made it clear about Pol Prayut Chan-o-cha, General Prayut Chan-o-cha, that they will not like pitch Pol Prayut Chan-o-cha names to be a candidate for prime minister. So I thought that it's quite clear already that they not support the government.
I see.
Well, just like Dr. Charupol said, that everything is possible in politics. But in my perspective, just like I said a few days ago, it's just like old wines in new bottles.
I see.
And from new generations, like our generations or the generations after us, I think we are looking for something new, something challenging, or something like new face that can, give us some of the hopes.
I see. So for the next report, we have something through experience as well about Kun Nina, about what you explained about call center. So it's like a true real experience to share, right? Okay.
So yesterday I read news about Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. He warned that right now there's a lot of we call call center gang. You know, the call center gang is like someone call you via the phone and say, you have the parcels or your credit card or your passport been sent to you, but it's actually stuck at the port somewhere, and you have to pay first before. And if you don't pay first, you know, there will be some legal action against you. And some people really, really fall into that. And it happened to me before New Year. Someone called me like this as well. First of all, I was so shocked because they know my name, my last name, and they know my ID card. I was
how did they know that?
Exactly. I don't know. How did they know that? Some sort of leaking information about me, but I think these are the gangs that they really, maybe they found some information, you know, transaction or something. I would have no idea about that. And I was so shocked, and I was like, they say they came from a logistic company, and your parcel is being stuck, and the parcel is sent from China. So I was so shocked, and I did actually ask more detail about that. But then, you know, like at the end of the line, it sounds so unprofessional that I can sense of something. So I said, look, if you're lying and you admit to me, it's okay. But if you're lying and if you're not admitting to me, I will find the information and hunt you down. That's what I said. That's what I say. So they actually hang up, and I call after that right away. I call the logistic company. The logistic company say that they receive a lot of complaint, and I gave them the number that called me on my mobile phone. They say this is on their blacklist as well.
I see.
So I think this type of thing, like, you know, cyber crime, cyber threats is increasing right now, and I think that everyone should be aware of. Everyone should be careful. And if it's not me, and if it's someone like someone younger than me or someone older than me, they probably transfer the money already. No,
I see.
So I think cyber threats is actually approaching us. So our next guest will give us more detail about that.
Yes, that we have to wait for our guest, right?
Oh, okay.
The thing is this, Kun Nina, a few days ago, there was in the news report about you got call center. That this news is about lie. You know, when you hear somebody, I'm gonna wrap up this fast, okay? Somebody send you a text message in the line and said that, can you vote for my niece? You know, can you vote for my niece? And then, because we are Thai, we have good heart, so we help other people. So we click and vote for the niece in the link, and it happened that they stole your identity through the line, and then they use your identity, and you cannot log into the line anymore. And after that, what happened? They used your identity to tell Arthur, can you send me money? And then the friend said, oh, the friend is in trouble, so I'm gonna send money. So it become like 10, 20, 30,000 baht to send over. This is another thing that happened to the cybercrime. So now we have our guest ready for the interview. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk to him.
สวัสดีค่ะ 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 Let me say that the COVID-19 pandemic pushed the world into the digital economy era recently. And as a result, all sectors are increasingly adapting to digital transformation so that every transaction can meet the needs of consumers and customers at your fingertips. But over the last year or 2 years, we heard about cybercrime, especially like my own experience. That is causing enormous damage more and more often. So especially in 2021, Dr. Varin Khera, Chief Corporate Strategy Officer of Classic Asia Co. Limited. Could you please share your view about this?
Okay. Yep. So what cybercrime actually does is it exploits people's trust in their technology, right? So if you look at it from that instances, if, for example, somebody have access to your phone, what could they do? They would know everything about you that your phone knows about you, right? So broadly speaking, when you look at cybercrime, you consider the impact of cybercrime in three categories, okay? One is the financial category. So basically, with cybercrime, you could lose your money, you could lose your corporate info. You're looking at reputational category. So basically, somebody could use your identity and claim that something you are something you're not. Like in your previous example, that they claim to be a call center. And third is legal implication. So there are relevant cyber law that's coming up, and with these cyber law, there could be legal implication for cybersecurity if you don't keep your organization protected, for example. Right. So this is broadly speaking how cyber crimes affect people's life, right, and organizations.
Could you please talk about the cyber threats affects people's lives and our businesses, and what are the likely in the future or maybe this year, what likely to have the cyber crimes trend?
Okay. So if you look at 2022, right? We talk about cyber trend. I give a list of 7 top cyber trend. Okay, for 2022, based on our experience, we do extensive work with cybersecurity, so we publish trends yearly. Now, the first trend, okay, and this is for people to be aware, is password authentication risk. So everybody has a password, right? You use your password to log into something. Now, the problem with password is, people always use very simple password. So what they do is that they use password that can be guessable, right? And a lot of the time, if a corporate forced you to use strong password, what I've seen is people write it down, right? So password is one of the biggest risks in cyber trend right now, because hackers can steal your password. A lot of the time, they steal your password. They crack into your system using default password. So what we are seeing a move today is we are seeing a move towards what we call a passwordless authentication. Okay, what a passwordless authentication means is that you would be using biometrics, you would be using two-factor authentication, or you could be using your phone. Like when you log into Google or Microsoft today, they ask you to use your phone to verify certain code to log in. So this is one of the biggest trend that I see that would be a paradigm shift this year. Organizations like Microsoft are coming up and saying, well, you really should move towards passwordless authentication. Similarly, Google, similarly, all these big organizations. So that's the paradigm shift we see in 2022. Okay. The second trend of the 7th trend is that I call 2022 the biggest year for ransomware. Okay. What is a ransomware? A ransomware is actually a computer program that if it infects your computers or your organization, it threatens you with a ransom. Like you have to pay a certain amount and they will send a certain amount of money via Bitcoin, and then they will send you the keys so you can then decrypt. We've heard of Saraburi last year, right? Where the hacker was claiming they wanted 200,000 Bitcoin. It was like 60 billion baht worth of ransom. So this is what we see quite extensively, that ransomware is becoming a very big thing, and you hear this in the news all the time. Organizations are actually being ransomed. Very recently, there's actually a ransomware called COVID Shield. So what it does is it actually pretends to give you information about COVID. But once you click on this, it then encrypts your hard disk and asks you to pay $100, and then it will give you a key to get your data back. Right. So this is the second trend. The third is we're talking about IoT, increasing IoT attack. Okay. What is IoT? I'd like people to understand this, right? You're talking about 5G today, 5G network. What is actually 5G? 5G is bringing all these real-time sensors, your fridge, your baby monitors, your TV, everything, bringing it onto the network. Okay. So what happens with these things coming onto the network is these devices are not designed to be secured from the ground up, right? Security is always an afterthought, right? So what happens is these IoT comes on the network. People can exploit them. For example, a hacker could exploit your TV and listen to your conversation, for example, right? And this has been proven in the past. If people go and read up on Mirai bot, there was one time a few years back there was a bot, an attack that was called Mirai. So what this thing did was it was guessing the password of IoTs, and through this it was able to lock into a lot of these IoTs. So it has proven. Another recent one, just very recently, is Tesla. I mean, a guy called David Colombo, he claimed that he was able to hack into Tesla's car. Okay, and he was able to start unlock the door, disable the engine. Of course, Tesla has fixed this, right? But this proves what can happen with IoTs and what we will see extensively this year. Okay. Then another thing is the fourth trend is the phishing attack. Actually, Kunira, you just talk about one of the phishing attack, right? Where actually the call center calls you and try to trick you to get information from you. This is precisely what we call phishing attack, and this is precisely what we're going to see this year. I call this localized phishing attack. Localized means it's not like before. Before I get an email saying I won, $100 million, and you should send email to this place, and they send an email to everybody. So this is like you fish, you send email to everybody, and hopefully somebody will get it. But what we're seeing here is localized. They try to study about you, like they study about me on my Facebook page. They become my friend, then they send information to me, right? So that's what we're seeing massively this year. The fifth trend, going quickly, is what we call supply chain attack. So very simple. If you think of cybersecurity, most of the big corporate here, they have cybersecurity policies. But what about your supply chain? You're bringing in technologies. Are these technology that you're bringing into your organization, are they also thinking of cybersecurity like you do? There has been an attack on SolarWind. Just to read up one where anybody who installed this program, hackers was able to come in and compromise through this program. Okay, it has been fixed, but I'm just giving an example of supply chain. Okay, and then the sixth thing is increasing risk for mobile device. I see that you're going to have a lot of cyber risk. Before, when you talk about malwares, right, these viruses, they would attack your laptop. But today, we're seeing again a paradigm shift. There's a lot more malware moving towards your phones, right? Then there's a lot of discussion: is Android more secure or is Apple more secure? Some people claim that they use Apple phone, they don't need to worry about security. I don't think that's true, right? I mean, there are always ways to get into your system. I mean, even though Apple is a closed system, doesn't mean that Apple is more secure than Android. I feel that there are always ways to attack, and you have to really be careful of this. And then the last point is cyber warfare. You see, what happens today with warfare is, every time there's a warfare, there's a threat, you would see cyber being the front line. Like, for example, if the US has a war with Russia or have any conflict with Russia, cybersecurity would be how they would attack. But we've seen this in the past. They've attacked Iran nuclear facility using malware to shut down the nuclear facilities. So you would see a lot of that shift. You would see a lot of that happening in 2022. Okay, so that sort of wrap up what I see as a 7th trend. Yep.
So what would be your recommendations to protect ourselves and prevent these threats, since there are so many?
Very, very good question, right? So how do we prevent cyber threat? Okay, so I would give you 7 habits. Okay, just practice the 7 habits. Okay, and the 7 habits may not protect you 100%, because if you are a target, they can always come after you, right? But these 7 habits would help keep you as secure as possible, right? So one is very simple: think before you click and open a file. So if you get a file, you just give it a thought. Is it real? Could this person be sending me an email asking me for this information? Should I click this? Because a lot of the times these files that comes into your emails, they could be infected, right? For example, if you're advertising for a role and somebody sends in a resume and with an attachment that looks suspicious, is it real? Just give it a thought, okay? The second thing is, again, I like your example earlier, like people were trying to phish you, to scam you, right? So just verify information. If people are requesting your private information, Could they really request that? For example, the bank is, somebody's pretending to be the bank and they're calling you to ask you for your private information. That cannot be real. So just verify that, okay? The third thing is protect your password. Okay, just like I said, go password less or use two-factor, or if you have to use password, use a secure password. Okay, so just protect your password. Don't share it with everybody. Okay. The fourth thing is update your device regularly. Okay, so a lot of the times when we do penetration testing work, when we go and advise client, we see that a lot of ways attackers comes in is because you're not updated. So just keep updating. When Apple pops up for you to update your phone, update it. When Android pops up, update your phone. Okay, that's the fourth thing. The fifth habit I would say is backup. I have experienced this myself. I mean, I've had my computer corrupted on me. So if you don't have backup, you run into risk. So backup as frequently as possible. And the sixth thing is you delete your sensitive information when you don't need it. So if you have sensitive information in your laptop, you've used it, and it's possible, just delete it off, right? Because you don't know if somebody would be able to access it at some point. And the last thing I would say is, follow your corporate policies and report suspicious activity. Please do that, right? A lot of people try to circumnavigate their corporate policies. So the corporate policy says use a strong password. Yes, I will use a strong password, but I will write it down. So don't do that. Don't write it down on your desk and leave it there. So just follow that strictly, right? So these 7 habits, will help you keep yourself secure. Okay.
Yeah, I have a question, because we now living like online for many activities in our life. So we tend to have this website, this application, login and password. So I have so many passwords, and sometimes I use interchangeably. I mean, use this password for this one, but I still cannot remember the password. Can you have some recommendation? I used to write down my password in a piece of my small booklet to keep it away, and also sometimes I put the list of my password on my desktop. Is it secure? No.
Absolutely not, right? So what you could do, for example, what I do is whenever I have to select a password, I let the OS, like if you're using Apple, if you're using Windows, there are tools that you can download. So what this tool does, it actually selects the secure password for you for all these websites or these sites that you're going into. Okay, and what you do is that every time you log into this site, you go into this like a password vault, and this vault will then have all your password. So you don't need to remember the password for all the site. You just remember one password for a vault, like a vault, right? A password vault. So there are programs like that. Just Google it. And if you use, I use Apple extensively. I mean, there are built-in tools in Chrome, for example, or in Safari. That would every time there's a password, you have to select a password. The OS will come and says, "Do you want to use this secure password?" You can use that, and you can let the tool remember the password for you, right? So it's a little bit of a headache because you need to sort of give it a little bit of thought. You need to go through 1 or 2 steps, but it is a must, right? Password is definitely a no-go. You have to really keep it secure. And like I said, you will see that most of the organization will eventually move to passwordless. They will force you to use your application. And down the line, you will be using the most secure ways is your biometric, your fingerprint, your retina. That's what we will see down the line in the next 5 years, extensively. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Ka, thank you very much, Ka Prajay. There are a lot of things that we need to be careful and be vigilant about that. But the thing is, your recommendations are the most simple things that a lot of people should be doing regularly. The 7 recommendations. So, and I think if people follow these steps, there will be less cyber crimes on the happening to us. So thank you very much for your information, Ka, today. Thank you for joining our program. สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
Right. Before we come to the end of this morning program, Kun Nina got a clip from Australia.
Okay, I found this clip on TikTok in Australia. So basically, see these two men. This
What's
guy
that?
is asking for 80k.
That's 80K. Okay.
Asking for 80k. So basically, last year 80k tests were kind of a rare item as well. I think this clip was from last year. For now, I think you can buy the 80k in Australia. I tried to contact my uncle in Australia. He did not pick up the phone, so I couldn't confirm whether now it's available or not. So basically, what I'm trying to interpret is what
Mhm.
is that the 80k is a rare item in Australia as well. And of course, the police come and asking, "What are you guys doing?" and running after. And then he said, "Oh, he's positive. He's positive." And the police say, "Stand back."
And what happened? Running
And that's
away.
it, running away. Running away. Well, it's fun, but it reflects that, in a way, in our society, we still need this,
I think,
you know,
yeah, right. I think the policeman running like Tom Cruise, the style that he running. Could Ping you think? And then after that, when he found that guy positive, he running in another
running
style.
to-
If you take a notice. Okay, thank you for the clip, Kun Nina.
Yes. So that actually reflects our society that 80k is still important in every country, actually. Especially when Kun Pings went to do the report last week. That was really, really good, isn't it?
Yeah, so especially in Thailand, we really need free 80k and more cheap 80k car.
Did you buy in the end? Did you manage to buy?
Yeah, I got one box. I go to the line by myself and I got one box. So lucky.
Okay.
700 baht. Okay,
Yeah.
Ka.
So, and that wraps up our Voice of the Nation morning news update for today. I hope you enjoy our program.
And stay tuned with us with the latest news and information from Thailand's premier English language news source, connecting Thailand to the world every Monday to Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Live streaming to our website, nationthailand.com, Facebook, and other social media platforms. Don't forget to click like and share. I'm Vithaya Sangarun.
And I am Nina Nirasha Malisak.
Oh, anyway, tomorrow, do we have a news program like this? Kun Vidya?
Oh, thank you, Kun Ping. Tomorrow, we're going to have for the last thing for today. Tomorrow, we're going to have big and grand opening of the relaunch of the nation in the afternoon at 2 p.m. If you like to join us, you can come to the page, our Facebook fan page, and also click the link to join our Zoom meeting starting at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. All of us will be there and talk about the new direction of the nation. Thank you, Kun Ping, for this.
Yeah, if anyone who's follow the nation on social media, you might saw 3 of us poster already. So yes, tomorrow is gonna be our big event. Not just only 3 of us. Not just only 3 of us, right? Kun Nina, tomorrow who else gonna join our grand opening? Event?
I have to ask you first. There's a big name, isn't it?
Yeah, very big name.
So tomorrow morning, we're not gonna have the Voice of the Nation in the morning. Please join us in the afternoon, okay?
Yeah, and see you again on next Monday.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ บ๊ายบาย